after university, I graduated. I turned down good jobs. I turned down jobs that were offered me $80,000, and this was back in 2008. Offered me $80,000 to go to New York and work in New York City. You know, I turned those jobs down. I turned down teaching jobs. And in Toronto, teachers make up to 90. Back then, 90. They make more than that now, 90,000, right? So I turned those jobs down on purpose so I could work those janitor jobs. I did all those janitor jobs and stuff, so I had mental capacity to write. That was my only goal. I was like, I want to be a full-time writer and author. The only way I could do that is if I dedicate myself to writing. The only way I could dedicate myself to writing is if I'm not consumed by a full-time job. Because I'm the type of person that goes all out. So if I have a full-time job, especially like say I was a teacher, I'm not just going to go to work and teach. I'm going to get there early. I'm going to stay late. I'm going to mark. I'm going to talk to students. That's going to drain me, you know? And I said the number one most important thing was becoming an author and a writer. So I took all those odd jobs because I could just go to work, do all the janitor stuff clean, but then after that I just come home. And then now I have the entire day to write, you know?
Because that's a physical job.
Yeah.
It's not a mental job.
It's not a mental job, exactly. So and it's also shift work, you know? So I knew exactly like what my shifts were when I would finish in the day so I could plan and write. So it was very strategic. I really thought about what I could do, what regular jobs I can do to really focus on writing. And just to be clear, I'm not like making fun of those other jobs as well, right? I'm not saying that those jobs are bad.
But no.
You know, but it's the big difference between being a janitor and being an author.
When you are planning to do something big,
yes,
sometimes you need to step back.
Yes.
A little bit.
Exactly.
Because while earning $150,000 a year, you cannot focus somewhere else.
It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
You need to take down all your necessities.
Exactly.
And plan everything within $30,000.
Yeah.
A year, and that's how you.
But when you have a vision, I always tell people I feel very fortunate because I always knew I wanted to be a writer and an author. Always, right? I told you I wrote my first book when I was 8, so I always knew. So what I give myself credit for, though, is I pursued it and I stuck with it and I stuck with that vision. So because that vision was so clear for me, I didn't see anything else for me. It's not like I was like, maybe I'll do this and maybe I'll do that. I was like, no, I am going to be a writer, period.
Exactly. When I started this podcast, so many asked me, there are hundreds of podcasts going on. Why will someone watch them? I was like, I don't know, just want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no...
It's like almost delusional a little bit. There's no reason to it.
There's no reason to it. I just want to do that.
I just want to do it.
And I know that money will come somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It will be on way.
Exactly. And you just do it.
Yeah.
And look, you have a beautiful studio now and you're doing it. Yeah. Right? So I don't know. That was helpful for me. I think knowing what I want to do and being very, very narrow-minded in a way helped me get there.
But many writers today are struggling in their... They have made their expenses to $150,000. So they are in $200,000. So now they cannot step back to $50,000. Their families to feed. Everything is there.
Yes.
And I think still, if they can dedicate something, then it's a very beautiful profession.
It is.
And it might drain you for 7 to 8 years, even 10 years, I would say. I'm in publishing industry, I told you, for last 7 to 8 years, 10 years. It might drain you for a little bit time, but eventually you'll realize that, you're doing something that no one can even dream of.
I know. It's so beautiful. I really believe that. I'm so happy you said that because it's true. Writing is such a beautiful career and a beautiful path to take. You're telling stories for people and people see themselves in these stories and people connect on a whole different level.
It's like you're dreaming and everyone near you can feel themselves as the main character of the dream.
Yes, that is a perfect way to put it. Absolutely, And what's more special than that?
Exactly.
What's more special?
And I usually say this thing that go on stage once in life, and if 100 people in front of you clap for you, you won't be able to sleep for 3-4 days. Yeah. and the adrenaline boost that'll give you, no 1 million can give that to you.
Absolutely right.
After that, money will become secondary.
Yeah.
And you'll go on a path that is all about people,
yes,
their happiness.
Yes.
And once you're on that path, money is just sticking around you.
Yeah, it'll just start coming. But you know, it's really hard for people to understand that because it doesn't happen normally
Overnight,
anyway. It doesn't happen right away. So you have to go through that 7-8 years that
7,
you
8,
went
10
through,
years minimum.
right? So and I think that's what people struggle with. But if you could just get through it, the money, trust me, it comes. It's you almost don't have to look for it after a while. You know, you just be that person and really focus on people, focus on your stories, and then you'll start seeing money in your account. You're like, whoa, okay, oh,
Where is it coming?
Yeah, where is this money coming from? But it's a journey, and I really hope more writers just stick with that journey.